Tonight, petty crime turns serious.
You know, get off our property, and the response was stay inside or you could get shot.
Which Winnipeg neighborhood has residents speaking out about a sharp rise in thefts and now threats? Also tonight.
Wildfires are very dangerous for not only the residents but firefighters.
How grass fires are already affecting communities across southern Manitoba despite the cool conditions. Plus, shifting blame. Why Telus says it shouldn't be held responsible for a man's death during a 911 outage last year.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Taylor Brock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hendricks. People living in River Park South and St. Vital are speaking out following repeated break-ins in the neighborhood. The incidents have picked up so much since late February, homeowners are beefing up security measures. And as CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows you, one victim says they were threatened that they would be shot.
The response was stay inside or you could get shot. It's frightening, very frightening.
River Park South resident Travis Friesen says his family is still shaken up. In overnight hours of Wednesday, April 15th, thieves hopped over his fence on Tufnell Drive looking to take what they could.
My wife came to the back door, saw three silhouetted figures in the field behind our residence, loading materials, a patio table onto a truck that had backed up.
Friesen says it was at this point the men threatened his wife, saying the couple would be shot if they interfered. He says the thieves parked a truck on this green space in between his backyard and Dakota Community Center and tried to break into their shed. Fire pit chairs and patio furniture were taken before police arrived on scene.
The sense of security is absolutely not what it was 5 years ago.
And he's not the only area resident feeling this way. Jeff Nespiak owns Southside Cycle Works, fixing bicycles in his back lane off of nearby Burland Avenue. He says his back lane has been the repeated target for break-ins since mid-February. After hearing from neighbors on both sides of his house that they were robbed, he's worried he could be next.
3 doors down, they got into his garage, ransacked his vehicle, took the overhead door opener, and then attempted to come back a couple of days later.
Nespiak believes it's the same individuals targeting his neighbors, casing the lane in all hours of the night. His security camera video from February 28th shows someone hopping the neighbor's fence at 4 a.m., the same time Nespiak says his neighbor reported the robbery. A week later, a similar-looking individual wearing the same colored yellow gloves appears to be snooping again, just after 3 a.m.
Their sense of security is gone. They're fearful. It's, clearly the same individuals coming back. This has been going on for 2 months now.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
In a statement to CTV News, City Councillor Marcus Chambers says residents feel vulnerable, and he's asking the Winnipeg Police Service for increased patrols in the neighborhood. Chambers says the police service is advising residents to continue to report any problems so they can track these crime metrics and allocate resources more effectively. A man is facing several charges after police say he threatened and sexually assaulted healthcare workers at a Winnipeg hospital Friday. A spokesperson for the Manitoba Nurses Union confirmed to CTV News the location was Grace Hospital, and at least one of the workers was a nurse. According to police, a 59-year-old man seeking treatment at the hospital acted aggressively and made sexually inappropriate comments to staff. He was restrained by hospital security because of the behavior. Now, during his treatment, 2 healthcare workers were allegedly sexually assaulted. One of those workers had her clothing ripped after she says the man tried to bite her. A third worker claims to have been verbally threatened. The man was arrested around 2 Friday morning and released on an undertaking. Manitoba's highest court has ruled a man who served a decade in prison before later being acquitted can't continue his lawsuit against the province. Mark Grant filed the suit in 2019, seeking $8.5 million against the Winnipeg police and the provincial government. He alleged they had engaged in negligent investigation and malicious prosecution that left him wrongfully convicted of murdering 13-year-old Candace Dirksen. In his decision Friday, the appeal court ruled nothing in the claim could give rise to the type of tainted tunnel vision that amounts to malice. Grant's lawyers say they'll consider whether to appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada. In the meantime, his lawyers say the lawsuit will continue against police. Several people, including 2 teenage girls, are recovering from serious injuries from a head-on crash in southern Manitoba. RCMP say it happened Friday around 9:30 on Highway 3 just south of Sanford. Investigators say a northbound vehicle was spotted swerving on the highway before crashing directly into a vehicle heading in the opposite direction. The driver, a 25-year-old man from St. Adolphe, and the 19-year-old man in the passenger seat remain in critical condition in hospital. The 52-year-old man driving the other vehicle received minor injuries. However, his 2 14-year-old daughters remain in hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. RCMP, along with a forensic collision reconstructionist, are still trying to piece together what happened. Telecom company Telus, which is facing a lawsuit over a man's death during a 911 outage, is now alleging the man caused or contributed to his own death, and they're asking for the case to be thrown out. Dean Switzer was 55 years old when he died of a heart attack at his home in Fisher Branch back in March of last year. Dean's brother Greg filed the lawsuit stating Dean's wife and neighbors called 911 about 20 times during the emergency, but none of those calls were put through. The suit says Telus had a responsibility to ensure uninterrupted access to 911 and says Dean would have gotten timely care and survived if the service was operational. However, in a statement of defense filed last Tuesday, Telus denied his responsibility for the access, adding, quote, Dean's death was caused or contributed to by Dean's own negligence or contributory negligence. The company pointed to Dean's alleged service agreement, which it says states service may fail or be interrupted, and it doesn't guarantee service availability. It adds he, quote, would not have survived in any event. We have much more details about the lawsuit on our website. Just go to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. The Speaker of the Manitoba Legislature says he will enforce new rules about decorum due to repeated complaints about the language used during debates in recent months.
So I'd like to congratulate us on meeting a new low.
Speaker Tom Lindsay spoke in the Legislative Chamber on Monday afternoon, saying he has concerns about the use of unparliamentary language in decorum. Later that day, Lindsay tossed Tory opposition member Wayne Owasco from the legislature. He had ordered Owasco to apologize for comments he made last month, suggesting Premier Wab Kinew had been drinking. Owasco apologized if his comments offended the Premier. However, Lindsay said that wasn't a full apology, and after 2 warnings, Owasco was told to leave. Kinew says the comments were racist.
We can have all the different conversations about procedure and this and that, but come on. Realistically, look at what happened in this place over the past 2 months. Come on. You know what I'm saying.
Apologize.
For his part, Wayne Owasco says he knows what he said and what he didn't say, and denied his remarks were racist.
I apologize for those words that I used off the record in the chamber. I could add to it what I was seeing from my chair in the Premier's behavior that particular day. It was a little off than what he usually, how he usually answers questions or doesn't answer questions. I made the comments. I unequivocally apologize for those comments.
Don't be fooled by the frigid spring weather outside. Grass and brush fires are already popping up. A large one in Brandon recently took crews 9 hours to tackle. Now this, as another hot, dry summer could be around the corner. And as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, at least one community has already put a burn ban in place.
Despite the colder spring weather, grass fire season has started in Manitoba. Last Friday, Winnipeg fire crews had to put out one just south of Winnipeg.
Even though the ground is wet in some spots still, there's still the potential for grass fires.
A week ago, a grass and brush fire broke out at the Transcona Bioreserve, which was 4,000 square meters in size, and just days before that, one near Lajimodiere and Dugald. The Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service says this is par for the course in May as they prepare for another dry summer.
It'll be one of the hottest on record from what I understand. They are expecting more rain this year too, but it all depends how the rain is. If we have hot weather, you get a small rain day, it can be dried up pretty quickly.
The fires are springing up outside the perimeter too. Late last month, a grass fire tore through this property near Tyndall.
Pretty scary. pretty scary, especially when it got so close to my property, my house.
On Friday, Brandon fire crews, with the help of other departments, spent 9 hours battling a large grass fire south of the city.
Several miles in area, but it did risk 4 to 5 properties. I'm very happy to say that the team did an amazing job and we didn't lose any properties.
And at least one municipality has already put restrictions in place. A burn ban is in effect in the RM of Piney. Only recreational fires in approved pits are permitted. The WFPS says there are other measures you can take to prevent grass and brush fires, like properly disposing cigarette butts and keeping leaves and firewood away from your house.
An member can travel a distance, catch that on fire, and now your structure's on fire. Even gutters, a lot of people leave the leaves in their gutters. If an ember travels, has a potential to ignite the leaves.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Time now for our first check on the weather, and it is a cool one. -2 degrees with the wind chill feels like -5. The barometer is rising, humidity at 73%. Tonight is going to dip down just a little bit cooler, all the way to -3, and your wake-up weather -1 and mostly cloudy.
The complex needs are only going to go up.
Complex concerns about Manitoba schools, why teachers are worried that some students are being left behind. Growing strain with dwindling support. Manitoba teachers are sounding the alarm tonight over the increasing pressures that they're facing in the classroom.
Unless we keep addressing the chronic underfunding that we're seeing in our schools, the complex needs are only going to go up.
Nearly 3,400 Manitoba Teachers Society members responded to a probe research poll between January 22nd and February 17th. 81% said class size, complexity, and lack of supports are their primary concerns. The Manitoba Teachers Society says an erosion of support services has forced teachers to take on roles once covered by a team and is taking a toll on learning environments.
Teachers used to be able to address the needs of students who had less complex needs, who just needed the little extra bit of help. And we're finding now that these students who can't get that help because teachers are addressing the most complex of needs.
Nearly half of respondents reported having more than 6 students with complex needs in their classrooms. That's up from 23% in 2024. The Manitoba Teachers Society is seeking additional funding to address concerns, smaller class sizes, and more EA supports. Additional findings will be released leading up to the Manitoba Teachers Society's annual general meeting on May 21st.
It's under our government that since we've been elected, every single year, every single school division has received an increase. So it's going to take a while for us to dig out of the hole that the Tories left us with in education. Same thing on healthcare. But we're making incredible progress already, and I'm really excited about the year ahead.
The survey has a margin of error of plus or minus 1.54 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. A Dauphin man is facing several charges tonight, even though it appears he took great pains to avoid being found. RCMP were sent to a home in the community Sunday to arrest a man wanted on theft-related charges. There, they found a man who claimed he was home alone. However, officers found a hidden room behind a bookcase where they found several weapons as well as a trap door, which led into a second hidden room. Inside there was the man they were looking for. He's now in custody, charged with possession of property obtained by crime, resisting arrest, and possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. The man who answered the door is also charged with obstructing police. A Quebec man accused in a scam targeting seniors is facing additional charges after more Manitoba victims came forward. Winnipeg police say the 24-year-old man currently in custody was rearrested in mid-April. He was previously charged in March in connection to reported fraud. Since police announced those charges, 6 more people came forward with similar reports, 4 in Winnipeg and 2 in Portage la Prairie. In every case, seniors would receive a phone call from someone posing as a young relative who needed emergency bail money. They later provided cash or jewelry to a stranger who showed up at their house. Investigators pegged the losses at around $31,000. If you receive a similar call, you're encouraged to hang up. verify with family or authorities the call is fake, and then file a police report. Music Monday at the legislature. Why the performance was about more than making just a nice melody. And we'll have your complete Skywatch forecast when we return. Welcome back. Our first weather picture this evening by Christine is this amazing shot of the Red River as the sun sets. You know, the trees are bathed in so much light, they kind of look like a field of wheat. Our next photo is another stunning one by Tina. It shows some incredible clouds over a farm in the Carmen area. Thanks to both of you for sending in the pictures. You can send us yours to winnipegweather@ctv.ca. Now, today is May the 4th. Now, I remind you of that because it doesn't really feel much like May, does it? Today, our high was just 4 degrees, and we even had a few light flurries. Now, our normal high for this time of year should be 17. So, what is going on? As we get the satellite map in motion, I can show you it's all thanks to that low pressure system that was mostly sitting over northwestern Ontario. Now, today it did start to slowly move off, but in its wake, the weather that we are enjoying, or rather not enjoying right now. Now, most areas of the north are dealing with a little bit of light snow. The highest accumulations will be roughly 2 centimeters. Now, down here in the south, we're likely to see a few more flurries tomorrow as well. So definitely expect Tuesday to be a very similar day to today. Cloudy with strong northwest winds and temperatures stuck in the single digits. Now, by Wednesday, though, it'll almost be like someone is pulling a curtain back, at least when it comes to those clouds. The sun will start to shine again on the western sections of the province, and hopefully we will get some of that sunshine here in Winnipeg. But it'll likely be Thursday before we get back to double-digit temperatures. Speaking of temperatures, let's take a look at the current conditions across the province. Hundreds of students from across Manitoba gathered together in song today to celebrate music education. Called Music Monday, student musicians took part in massed band and choir performance of an original piece of music at the legislature. Performers of all experience levels participated, but the goal wasn't just harmonizing. It was also intended to raise money for Cancer Care Manitoba.
So the piece is called Wave of Light. It's about 5 minutes long, and it hopefully encaptures a little bit of everything that we all experience with cancer, whether it's celebrating the success of a treatment, commemorating a loved one, and all the kind of different things that we go through with cancer.
Students from 13 different schools participated in the event, and there will be more performances of the piece across the province throughout the month. A furry new friend at a Canadian zoo. Why this baby camel is so important. There's a fresh and furry face at the Toronto Zoo. The zoo announced a brand new Bactrian camel. The calf was born last Thursday morning. Now, the little one stood up about 2 hours after that. The zoo says moments like this highlight how important wildlife conservation is, as these type of camels are critically endangered. Well, speaking of animals, a wandering peacock is making a positive impression with all sorts of people, beginning with the staff at a pub. Here's CTV's Adam Sawatsky.
When Sarah Karajanis received messages about a situation at work, the brewpub manager never expected to see what was captured on the security camera.
Pretty surprised and then excited.
It was like the setup for a joke that begins with a peacock walking into a pub.
Holy moly.
Mackenzie Brown, on the other hand, did not find the fowl funny.
I'm scared of birds.
Yet, after Mackenzie saw how the peahen peacefully made her way to the patio and perched on a corner table, the bartender felt comfortable enough to name the bird Marjorie.
She seemed pretty easygoing.
And Animal Control said Marjorie would move along if she wasn't fed, which she wasn't, but she didn't, impressing patrons for 3 days.
She just brought a lot of joy.
Rather than delivering the punchline to a joke, after popping up in social media posts all over the area, Marjorie's proving to be more like that wandering dog from the old TV show Littlest Hobo.
Every stop I make a new friend.
Including Jessica Mullins and her family.
We just moved from Halifax. My neighbor messaged me and she'd be like, "You have a peacock in your yard." And I'm like, "What?"
And when Jessica opened the door, Marjorie seemed to say, "Welcome to the neighborhood."
And I start talking to her. I know I'm crazy, but I talk to her.
Perhaps it was those chats that prompted the peahen to spend almost 20 days around the house, befriending a trio of deer and one indifferent dog.
My neighbor was like, "She has a connection with you for somehow."
Or maybe the peahen's on a mission, striving to inspire enough smiles to make the boys' new house finally feel like home.
It was pretty cool.
Like the bird didn't bid adieu to the pub until Mackenzie's fear was transformed into favor.
I felt like she was an old soul.
Like an elegant old patron, Mackenzie says, returning to the pub to appreciate a pint with her pals.
She definitely left a little place in our heart.
And like the littlest hobo, maybe tomorrow she'll want to settle down, but until tomorrow, Marjorie will just keep moving on. Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Esquimalt.
I love decorations and flowers and art, and it's a piece of the artist as well that you're carrying around with you.
Getting some ink done, where people lined up for some artwork that will last a lifetime. And we'll break down your 7-day Skywatch forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
We have a couple more days of very cold weather, but things will start to improve midweek, especially by Friday. A lot of Winnipeggers got some new ink this weekend. Tons of people went under the gun at the convention center during the Winnipeg Tattoo Show. CTV photojournalist Gary Robson was there.
I think because I have such a style that is easily recognizable, they kind of know what they're going to get. Like, I have a very set style of tattooing that I work with. So what they see is what they get. They know when they're coming to me. So luckily, I don't have any left field tattoos that people want.
Someone who aligns with what you're kind of wanting, so more fine line, or someone who does more darker pieces, color, stuff like that, I feel like is the most important part.
This I quoted 7 to 9 hours. There's lots of detail in this, especially in a snake. There's a bajillion scales, so where it'll be a while, lots of detail and fine lines.
The art, it's beautiful. I love decorations and flowers and art, and it's a piece of the artist as well that you're carrying around with you, which is pretty cool. It's an investment, yes, in yourself, your skin, your body, yeah, it's an investment for sure.
And I'm friendly. I don't mind if they come and talk and have questions. I come to the Winnipeg Tattoo Convention every year because it's my favorite. It's really good family kind of vibe here. Abby, the host, is incredible, and she really cares about us all. And I think that this show should be the standard for all the shows.
That's going to do it for us. For another look at tonight's stories, visit us online at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Thanks so much for watching, and good night.